Get Smart is a guide that offers practical tips and strategies for unlocking your brain's unused potential and transforming your life into one filled with success, creativity, and happiness. By changing your perspective, adopting a mindset based on long-term positivity, and implementing specific habits, you can tap into the immense power of your brain and turn challenges into opportunities. In this expanded summary, we will explore the key ideas and actionable advice from the book to help you harness your intellectual potential and live a more fulfilling life. Chapter 1, Changing Your Perspective. The first step to unlocking your brain's potential. Imagine having a bank account with $1 million, but only being able to access $20,000. Frustrating, right? This is similar to how most people use their brains. Studies reveal that the average person uses only about 2% of their brain's potential, leaving 98% untapped. With around 100 billion brain cells, each connected to about 20,000 other cells, the potential for creativity and problem-solving is immense. According to Tony Buzan, an expert on the brain, if everyone could fully utilize their brain cells, each person could generate more ideas than there are molecules in the universe. The good news is that everyone has the capability to tap into this unused brain power. The key lies in shifting your perspective. How you interpret life greatly impacts your ability to succeed. For instance, an optimist sees a world full of potential and positivity, while a pessimist sees problems and negativity. When faced with constructive feedback, a pessimist might feel overwhelmed by failure, whereas an optimist views it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Our perspectives, however, are often narrow and limited, as illustrated by the famous Buddhist anecdote of 6 wise blind men describing an elephant. Each man touches a different part of the elephant: ear, tusk, leg, side, tail, and head, and describes the animal based on his limited experience. None of them is entirely wrong, but each misses the full picture by focusing only on a particular part. To unlock your brain's potential, you must broaden your perspective. This shift in perspective is the first step toward thinking and living successfully. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore various strategies to help you achieve this goal. Chapter 2, Combining long-term thinking with immediate actions to achieve your goals. When planning your life, you can either adopt short-term thinking, focusing on immediate gratification, or long-term thinking, which involves considering the consequences of your actions and planning for the future. The majority of happy and successful people prioritize long-term thinking. In 1970, Harvard professor Edward Banfield studied people from different socioeconomic backgrounds and found that those who earned more money tended to think ahead, often years or even decades into the future. These individuals weren't necessarily smarter. They simply had a perspective that enabled them to consider how each action would bring them closer to their ultimate goals. Long-term planning is just as crucial today. In 2015, Forbes magazine reported that there were 290 new billionaires, 66% of whom were self-made and started with very little. To achieve such success from humble beginnings, long-term planning is essential. To join the ranks of these successful individuals, you need to think about where you want to be in 5 years and figure out what steps you need to take now to get there. This requires taking stock of your work, personal life, health, and financial independence, and making decisions based on this information. However, having a great plan is not enough. You also need to take action. For example, if you want to enjoy a comfortable retirement, you need to start saving and investing now. Unfortunately, 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, focusing on short-term pleasures like buying the latest gadgets instead of planning for the future. These individuals are likely to face financial hardship in their old age. To avoid this fate, set up a savings account and deposit 10 to 15% of your income every month. Through the power of compound interest, even small investments made early on can grow into significant sums by the time you retire. Every moment you delay or focus on short-term gratification will cost you in the long run. Chapter 3, Slowing Down Your Thinking for Better Decision-Making. Our thoughts are often like the bubbles in a glass of champagne, transitory and fleeting. While there's always plenty of mental activity, there is often a lack of real substance. Many people let themselves be dominated by these rapid, reactive thoughts, allowing emotions to dictate their actions. For example, a notification on your phone might compel you to drop everything and check it, or a moment of anger might lead you to say something you later regret. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can learn to use your brain more effectively. According to Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman, there are two types of thinking: fast, impulsive thinking and slow, rational thinking. When planning long-term goals, using the slower, more deliberate method of thinking leads to better decisions. The good news is that it's easy to engage the slower thinking process. The longer you take to make a decision, the more time you give your slow-thinking brain to come up with the best answer. Here are a few techniques to help you slow down your thinking. Take 72 hours before making important decisions. This gives you ample time to mull over your options and arrive at the best choice. Spend time in solitude. Spending 30 minutes to an hour each day in a quiet, secluded spot allows your mind to think deeply. Shut off all distractions, such as phones and music, and let your mind flow freely. Left alone to contemplate, your brain will start generating great ideas and solutions. Use the GASPA model. When contemplating long-term strategy, go through each stage of the GASPA model to think carefully. Goals. What results do you ultimately want to achieve over a specific long-term period? For example, what growth target do you want to aim for over the next 5 years? Objectives. What smaller targets will get you closer to your main goals? For example, what level of growth should you strive for this year? Strategies. How will you achieve your objectives? For example, what marketing strategy will generate the required growth? Priorities. Identify the most effective actions that will make your strategy a success. Actions. What everyday work will ultimately get you to your goals? By going through the GASPA model step by step, you give your slow-thinking brain the space it needs to make the best decisions. Chapter 4. Success requires intensive research and asking the right questions. So far, we've focused on how shifting perspectives can enhance personal development. Now let's explore how changing your mindset can benefit your business endeavors. Here's a question for you. Why do 80% of new products fail? According to Forbes magazine, the primary reason businesses fail is a lack of customer demand for their product or service. Simply put, if no one wants what you're selling, your business will not succeed. To ensure that customers want what you're offering, you need to conduct intensive research. If you don't know enough about your potential market, your chances of success are slim. Start by asking others for their insights. There's no substitute for expertise, so seek advice from experts in your field. They can provide valuable assessments of your idea's viability. You should also learn from those who have already explored similar ideas. A quick Google search can reveal what others have discovered, and you can even reach out to these pioneers for face-to-face discussions. Once you have a workable idea, it's time to test whether people will actually buy your product. Be careful not to fall into the trap of confirmation bias, where you only seek out information that supports your idea. Instead, approach your idea like a scientist. Create a hypothesis about what you think your product will bring to the market, and then try to disprove it. For example, if you've developed a new type of laundry detergent, your hypothesis might be, I think people will buy my new detergent. Next, seek out reasons why your hypothesis might be wrong. Ask potential customers why they wouldn't buy your product, or why they might prefer a competitor's brand. If your product still garners interest despite your attempts to discredit it, you might be onto something. This approach requires complete honesty and a willingness to fail and learn. If you value the truth more than your attachment to your idea, you'll gain the insights needed to succeed. Be open to criticism. Embrace the possibility of failure and assess your ideas based on their true merits. Chapter 5. In a chaotic world, written goals will help you stay on track. We live in an era of constant change. Technology is advancing rapidly. Information spreads across the globe in seconds, and competition is fiercer than ever. In this hyper-dynamic world, many people feel overwhelmed, struggling to keep up with every new development. Living in such a state of perpetual reaction makes it difficult to achieve success. So how can you break free from this cycle? The answer lies in setting clear goals. Individuals with well-defined goals have a better sense of what information is important and what can be ignored. Moreover, those with goals are better equipped to adapt to change because they know where they ultimately want to be. Despite the importance of goals, only about 3% of people have a set of clear, written goals to guide them through life. If you're not already among that 3%, it's time to join them. Start by writing down your goals. Goals are most effective when they are visible. Begin by thinking about what you want to achieve in the next year. List 10 things you want to accomplish, some of which may be achievable in a short period, while others may take the full year. Write each goal in a specific, positive, and present tense format. For example, if you want to write a novel, phrase your goal as, "I complete my novel by August 31st of this year." Avoid negative wording like "stop eating junk food." Instead, use empowering language such as, "I am a healthy eater." Next, review your list of goals and identify the one that stands out as your top priority for the year. This goal becomes your major definite purpose in life. On a separate piece of paper, list at least 20 things you can do to make this goal a reality. For instance, if your goal is to write a novel, your mini goals might include research potential editors or complete writing classes. Create a checklist from this list of tasks and start working on the first item as soon as possible. By checking off an item on your list every day, you'll steadily progress toward your ultimate goal. This consistent effort, guided by written goals, will help you stay on track and achieve success even in a chaotic world. Chapter 6. Maximize your work hours by avoiding play and procrastination. We all know that education is essential for personal and professional development. However, school is also where many people develop a bad habit that can hinder their success in the workplace, the habit of play. From childhood through adolescence, play is a central part of the school experience. Unfortunately, this desire to play doesn't disappear when we enter the workforce. Studies show that the average employee only works productively between 11 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. And even during these hours, much of the time is spent interacting with colleagues rather than focusing on work tasks. This focus on play and procrastination limits your earning potential. Your ability to succeed depends on how quickly and effectively you complete tasks. Therefore, to achieve success, you must dedicate your working hours to actual work, avoiding distractions like coffee breaks, internet browsing, and social media. Staying focused is easier said than done, as the temptation to play and procrastinate is deeply ingrained. However, there are proven techniques to help you stay on track and maximize your productivity. One effective method is the law of 3. This principle suggests that just 3 of your tasks account for 90% of your results. The key is to identify these 3 critical tasks and focus all your energy on completing them. To apply the law of 3, start by listing all the tasks you need to complete. While the list may be long, don't worry. Next, ask yourself 3 essential questions. If I could only complete 1 task on this list today, which one would generate the most significant result? If I could only complete 2 tasks on this list today, which one would generate the second most significant result? If I could only complete 3 tasks on this list today, which one would generate the third most significant result? To help identify the right answers, consult with your closest colleagues or your boss. Ask them which tasks they believe are the most important. Once you've identified your top 3 tasks, focus your entire workday on completing them. The other tasks on your list are secondary and can be deferred. By concentrating on your 3 most important tasks, you'll accomplish the work that truly matters, leading to increased productivity and greater success. Chapter 7. Flexibility and continuous learning are key to success in a rapidly changing world. We live in one of the most tumultuous times in human history. Technological advancements and societal changes are happening at an unprecedented pace. To achieve success in this ever-changing environment, you must stay informed and be flexible in your thinking. The cautionary tale of Borders, the once massive book retailer, serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of adaptability. Borders failed to recognize the significance of the Kindle and the iPad, technological innovations that revolutionized the print industry. As a result, the company went out of business. To avoid a similar fate, you must embrace flexible thinking. Flexible thinkers can quickly react and adapt to dramatic changes, unlike those who remain stuck in their ways. But how can you develop the right mindset for flexible thinking? One effective approach is zero-based thinking. This technique involves constantly questioning the value of everything you do. Ask yourself, if I could start over from the beginning, would I make the same choices? Apply this question to every aspect of your life. For example, consider your friendships. Are there people in your life who no longer contribute positively to your well-being? Are there business decisions or career choices you now realize were mistakes? Whatever uncomfortable conclusions you reach through zero-based thinking, you must be willing to make changes. This may involve admitting that you made the wrong choice and accepting that your investments in time, capital, or emotions are lost. While this process can be painful, it will ultimately lead to long-term benefits. As challenging as it may be to let go of activities that no longer bring rewards, the results are worth it. You'll gain more time, energy, and a sense of relief. More importantly, you'll become more flexible and better equipped to seize new opportunities as they arise. Chapter 8. Embrace creative thinking and take risks to avoid the pitfalls of mechanical thinking. If you enjoy cooking, you know that trying a new recipe for the first time can result in a culinary disaster. However, a good cook learns from these mistakes, tries again, and may even discover a new favorite dish. The same principle applies to smart thinking. You must take risks, make mistakes, learn from them, and find creative ways to improve. This approach is the opposite of mechanical thinking. Mechanical thinkers view the world in black and white. Things are either a complete success or a total failure, with no room for nuance. They often reject novel ideas due to a fear of failure and criticism. As a result, they become stuck with outdated methods and ideas, which hinders their success. Creative thinkers, on the other hand, are constantly striving for improvement. They focus on solutions rather than fixating on problems. To start thinking creatively, follow these steps. Identify a problem. Start by examining what you do and identify a problem. For example, if you're a business owner, think about what is holding your business back. Break down the problem. Once you've identified a problem, break it down into smaller components. For example, if your problem is not having enough revenue, dig deeper. Maybe the real issue is that not enough people are buying your product, which leads to people prefer your rival's product. And then your product isn't compatible with the latest technology. Keep breaking down the problem until you uncover the underlying issue. Find solutions. Work with your team to brainstorm solutions to the problem. Once you've identified potential solutions, evaluate each one and choose the best option. Implement and monitor. Assign key performance indicators, KPIs, to the chosen solution to track its effectiveness. Appoint someone to take responsibility for implementing the solution and set a deadline for completion. Be prepared with backup plans in case the initial solution doesn't work. By applying this structured approach to creative problem solving, you'll ensure that your business stays ahead of the curve and thrives in an ever-changing world. Chapter 9. Adopt a wealthy mindset to achieve financial success. What's the secret to wealth? Why do some people become rich while others remain poor? Surprisingly, there's no secret formula. Anyone can become wealthy by adopting the mindset of a rich person. This is because of the law of correspondence, which states that your internal outlook and perceptions of life will be reflected in your external reality. For example, if you perceive yourself as worthy, hardworking, and valuable, you'll find yourself succeeding. This principle was demonstrated by the author's own experience. When he was poor, he noticed a fellow student arriving at evening school in a beautiful Mercedes. Inspired, he began thinking like a wealthy person. He studied billionaires, found a better job, and worked hard for his employers. Soon, he earned enough to buy the same Mercedes, transforming his life through a change in mindset. To adopt a wealthy mindset, start by analyzing the habits of successful people. Watch interviews with billionaires and read about their lives, focusing on the habits that contribute to their success. Habits play a crucial role in determining 95% of your actions, so it's essential to develop powerful ones. To create a new habit, focus on one aspect at a time and practice it daily. For example, if you want to wake up early, commit to doing so every day for 20 to 30 days until it becomes a habit. Once you've mastered one habit, move on to the next, such as planning your weekly tasks or managing your investments effectively. Even if you've already developed some good habits, don't become complacent. Wealthy individuals are always on the lookout for new opportunities to grow, so continue researching and learning to maintain your wealthy mindset. Conclusion: unlocking your brain's potential for success. There are both good and bad ways to use your brain. You can choose to have a distracted and unfocused mind that clings to negative preconceptions, or you can cultivate a sharp and creative mind that sees the positive aspects of life and thrives through inquiry, adaptability, and innovation. To achieve success, you must stop procrastinating. Embrace flexible thinking, write down your goals, change your perspective, and adopt the mindset of the wealthy. By following these principles, you'll unlock your brain's unused potential and transform your life into one filled with happiness, creativity, and success. Actionable advice: see the opportunity in every challenge. Take a moment to consider your biggest problem. Now, instead of viewing it as a problem, try to see it as a gift, an opportunity to learn something valuable about yourself. Perhaps this challenge will provide insight into your behavior and offer a chance for personal growth. Remember the words of Henry Ford: failure and hardships are chances to start all over again and to make it better. By adopting this perspective, you'll be better equipped to turn challenges into opportunities and achieve lasting success.